be at peace among ourselves and not always going at each other. Like, that's just power structures, power struggle. Romans 12:9. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor, hate that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. You see, he said, abhor, hate that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. You see, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another as the Israelites. See, that's what he wants to do. He got to keep telling us over and over again, because what do? Isaiah 10:20. Y'all be like, we don't have no right to hate. Most I hate. I got a whole breakdown on hate if you want it. Nothing but hate. Speaking of that, Isaiah 10:20. Hold on, just a moment. I'll get that. Look at Isaiah 5:20. Isaiah 5:20. Woe, means destruction, unto them, whoever you are, that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light. You see, they put whatever they believe in as being light when you know it's not right. Especially these religions, you know they're not right. But they put darkness for light, and woe to them that call evil good and good evil. Now, they call evil good, not keeping the commandments of the Most High, which is good, Romans 7:12. They say it's evil to keep the laws of the Most High. Destruction to you, he's saying. Woe to them that call evil good, and good, which is keeping of the Most High commandments, evil. We ain't under no law, which is good. And the commandments are good and holy, right? That put darkness for light, because what are you teaching is darkness, it is not light, because otherwise you would be going through these scriptures and breaking down what it is that this Bible is talking about. The children of Israel. You say destruction unto you. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe, destruction unto them that are wise in their own eyes and puted in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men's strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward. See, they justify what they have learned from the wicked for filthy lucre's sake, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Hear that? Well, hey, I read the Bible. You go to church. Hey, I read the Bible. The Bible said that we the Israelites. No, that's here. We got the devil up in here. That's what they're going to be saying. I'm going to see it over and over again. Get them out of here. Coming with a new doctrine. Ain't no new doctrine. This is what the Bible is talking about. That's why. Woe to them which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, it's to you preachers, as the fire devoured the stubble, you better repent and come back to the commandments of the Most High and learn this. Wherefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, that's the part of the wheat that they burn up, that's no good for nothing. So their root shall be as rottenness. Hear that? So their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. because they have cast away the law of the Most High of hosts. Because they have cast away, I can't make it clear no more to you than this. Why is they going to be destroyed? As stubble, as the flame consumeth the shaft, as fire devours stubble. That's like tumbleweeds. And the flame consumeth the shaft, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Most High power of hosts. You have cast away the law and saying we ain't under the law. This is the Most High's laws. Power of hosts, power of armies, power of angels. And despise the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Most High kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses, dead bodies, were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Man, come on. Y'all better hear this. What do you have to do? Go back to Isaiah, the 10th chapter, in the 20th verse now. You all forgotten the law of the Most High and teaching people that we not under the law? Shame, shame, shame. That's the result, he's telling you. Isaiah, the 10th chapter, the 20th verse. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. You ain't going to be trying to follow the way of this world, the Edomite world, and the wicked Israelite world, but shall stay upon the Most High, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And we got to sing it. What's the truth? We're going to stay upon the Most High power in truth. What's the truth? Psalms 119, 142. Let's sing it together. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them, that's that 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, a remnant of them shall return. So, the Most High is the one that called us into his marvelous light, to come out of darkness. But it's only a remnant, 1/3. 2/3 is double the amount of 1/3. So the majority of our people are not going to hear this. They're not going to return. But though thy people of Israel be as the sand of the sea. You ever pick up sand? Just grab some sand, you go to the beach and just say, we like that. The sand of the sea. Yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. That's keeping the Most High's commandments. That remnant going to be keeping the Most High's commandments. For the Most High power of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land. That's right. Hallelujah. Look at 1 John 2 and 28. But we got to follow what it is that he's instructed us to do. 1 John 2, 28 and 29. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, he coming back to judge and make war, and bring that judgment, he shall appear, we may have confidence and not be ashamed before him at his coming. Because he coming. If you know that he is righteous, you know that everyone that doeth righteousness is born of him. Now we define that righteousness over and over again in this lesson. Deuteronomy 6:25, keeping of the Most High's commandments. So you do righteousness, you know you born of him. If not, then You're not. Acts 22. Acts 22 and 14. Acts 22:14. See, you're not gonna get away with being wicked and thinking that it's okay or evil or don't want to study and do the things that the Most High said we got to do to see this. Acts 22 and 14. And he said, the power of our fathers. I've seen this before. Let me go here to prove the power of our fathers. Go to Acts 3:13. The power of our fathers, because that could be, people can take that for anyone of the past, no? Acts 3:13 shows the power of our fathers. The power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob. The power of our fathers. See? The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The power of our fathers. So when you see the power of our fathers, it's talking about the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's how you get to understand to the precepts. You're supposed to know that already, so that when you see that, you can relate to it, because that's what it just said. The power of our fathers is the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. The power of our fathers. So when you go back to Acts 22 and 14, it says, and he said, the power of our fathers, who's the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, have chosen thee, that thou shouldst know his will, and see that just one, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, and should have heard the voice of his mouth. Hear the voice of his mouth. John 15 and 16. St. John 15, 16. Because the voice of his mouth is the voice of the Most High. He is the word of the Most High. St. John 15, 16. You say, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the anointed Savior, he may give it you. That's what this is about, y'all. That's why. Go to Deuteronomy 7 and 1. Deuteronomy 7 and 1. The book of Deuteronomy is talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1 just to prove that, because some people might be just new to this and not really opened up the Old Testament to know it's talking about us. It's our books. Go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness. You see that? In the wilderness. So what's he speaking to? These be the words that Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness. So it's the whole books of Deuteronomy. Most of the Bible that the chapters are talking to, we the children of Israel. Just go to the first books, like I'm going to the first book of Deuteronomy, you see it's talking to the children of Israel. So Deuteronomy 7 and 1. And it says, when the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee. Now, you know, the Most High don't care about these nations. Listen, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Most High said, and when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. He say, we shall kill them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant, no contract or agreement with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Why? For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, other idols. So this is eliminating any interracial marriages. He say, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods, other idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So this is why, a lot of reason why We're in the condition that we're in because we're going against the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, and commandments. But thus shall you deal with them. You shall destroy their altars, everything they believe in and worship, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their images, graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power, we the Israelites. The Most High thy power have chosen thee, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, to be a special people unto himself. How special? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's what the Most High said. Thus say the Most High. Deuteronomy 14:2. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power, and the Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special, a peculiar people unto himself. How peculiar? Above all the nations that are upon the earth. That's what he's saying. Deuteronomy 32:8-9. This is what he chose us to be, but we didn't want that. We wanted to be like the other nations. So he said, okay, you're going to be like them. I'll let you be right amongst them. Here we are. Deuteronomy 8:9. When the Most High divided to the nations, he didn't integrate everybody. It's like when he come back, he's going to separate all the nations. One from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. I mean, he gave us our land, the 12 tribes of Israel, then he gave the other nations their land. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. I don't think people really they don't really consider the Most High being who he is and what he doing and what he done before, you were born on this earth. There's not enough research has been done on the Most High to realize that, hey, that's what he said. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, their lands that they're going to be in. Like he's going to give these nations what lands they're going to be in when the kingdom comes. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Most High's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's a lot of his inheritance. Ecclesiasticus 17:17. Ecclesiasticus 17:17 in the Apocrypha. Most High chose us to be above all nations. But Ecclesiastes 17:17 says, well, in the division of the nations, it's like he said he divided the nations, in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. See? So in the division of the nations, he set a ruler over all the people. But Israel is the Most High's portion. He said, I'm your king, but nah, we want to be like the other nations. He set a ruler over all the other nations. We want to be like them, man. He told us not to, but it's what we did. Isaiah 44:1. Until this day. He said in Jeremiah 10:1, learn not the way of the heathen. But we want to be just like them. Isaiah 44:1. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. See? He chose us. But we want to follow some other way. Jeremiah 30th chapter. Jeremiah 30th chapter. Verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob. See, we is Most High's servant. The Israelites said the Most High, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Like we in captivity now, he scatters among all these nations. He said, don't be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee. This is really being saved from afar, like way over here in this Western Hemisphere. And thy seed, your lineage of the Israelites, from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, said the Most High, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee. Hear what he say? He's going to make a full end of all nations where he scattered us. He got nothing coming but this. He say, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, because 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel are going to be redeemed. But I will correct thee in measure, like we're being corrected. A certain amount of time is in the Most High's hand, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. So he telling us, he set us above all nations. He said he ain't going to leave us all together unpunished. What you think? All the wickedness that the other nations have done, that they not going to be punished? Yo, they got a judgment coming. That's why he say he ain't going to leave us unpunished. We've been punished for breaking the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Isaiah 41. Isaiah 41 and 13. And I appreciate y'all being here with me. This is Shabbat. Isaiah 41 and 13. For I, the Most High, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. You hear this, Yasharella? He said, for I, the Most High, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. So he says he's going to help us. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Most High, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. You're going to make a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, the kingdoms, and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. Thus say the Most High. That's what he says he's going to do. As chaff, you're going to beat them down as chaff. Like the part of the wheat that you discard. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away. That's how you look at the people. It's going to be like the chaff of wheat that we don't eat. So we're going to fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in the Most High, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. We're going to glory in the Holy One of Israel. That's why he say, look, go to Jeremiah, back to Jeremiah 30 again. And go to the last two verses. Jeremiah 30 and 23. He said, behold, the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with fury. So they're going to fan them. They're going to be like, the people going to be like chaff. Say the whirlwind of the Most High goeth forth with fury. A continual whirlwind going around, 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 around. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Most High shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart, the intents of the Most High's mind. When? In the latter days ye shall consider it. Y'all better consider this. We in that time period right now. Oh, yes, we are. Go back to Isaiah 41. Isaiah the 41st chapter. Jump up verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. You hear the Most High tell us over and over again. He say, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I am your power. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. With a Mashiach Yahushai, that's the right hand of the Most High's righteousness. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee Every one of you nations that have been incensed against us shall be ashamed and confounded. You're going to be ashamed and confused. They shall be as nothing. Uh-oh. And they that strive with thee shall perish. Hear that? Thou shalt seek them and shall not find them. So you're going to look for them and shall not find them. Even them that contended with thee. All you that's contended with us now. See, people are going to be looking for you and shall not find you. Even them that contended with thee, all them that contended with us, they that war against thee shall be as nothing, as a thing of naught, as a thing of the past. Let's go to Job, the 20th chapter. They're going to be just like, they're going to be like, where they at? What happened to them? What happened to Esau? What happened to Ishmael? What happened to these nations that's all against us right now? So they're going to be as nothing. Let's see. Job, the 20th chapter. Let's start at verse 4. It say, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? The time to rule is short for the wicked, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though it's actually mount up into the heavens. Yeah, you got a space station up there, you know, and his head reach above unto the clouds. You got his jets flying this way, that way, and everywhere. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. He gonna perish forever like his own doo-doo. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Just like we just read. Say, where'd he go? Where's he at? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more. Neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. That's why Most High told us in Obadiah 17, we're going to own all their possessions, as it is written. Job 14 and 5. Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. The number of days are determined with the Most High. The number of his months, when the Most High is going to determine that he's going to be able to rule, it's in the Most High's hand. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. You see? There's only a certain amount of time that they're going to rule, and it's in the Most High's hand. It's going to be a time that he cannot pass. Period. Colossians 3:25. Colossians 3:25. Colossians 3:25. See. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there is no respect of persons. So all the things that they've done wrong, they're going to receive for the wrong which they have done in judgment. Because remember, the Most High have not judged them. He judged us for the wrong we done. Believe that. But they have not been judged. That's what I say. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there is no respect of persons with the Most High. He have respect to the Israelites. Galatians 6 and 7. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So they sow murder and rape and robbery and pillage and stealing and all that. That shall he also reap. Whatever man sowed, that shall he also reap. Psalms 37:35. Psalms 37:35. Psalms 37 and 35. And 36. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree everywhere. Yeah, he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I saw them, but he could not be found. Let you know, hey, this is judgment. He ain't gonna be found. Nowhere to be found. Job 20 and 6. It's judgment. Job 20, prophecy. Job 20 and 6. Now know I that the Most High saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Hear that? Salakia. That's Psalms 26. But that is real. That's a real good scripture. Psalms 20 and 6. Now know I that the Most High saveth his anointed. He saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Saving strength of his right hand. The Most High going to use a Mashiach Yahushua to save us as he come to judge and make war. Job 20 and 6, though it's excellently mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Hey, though he got a space station and got his space shuttles going up into the space station and got rockets going up in the air and so forth, got his jets flying, he say, hey, stealth bombers and his missiles and all that, so he say, hey, they that see him shall say what? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where is he? They don't know where he's at. In Isaiah 14 and 13, prophecy. Isaiah 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, they said in their mind, what I will ascend into the heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, right? So he say he's going to sit in the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. But first we got to look at, say, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. So who are the stars of the Most High? Let's find out. Go to Genesis, the 37th chapter. It's our father Joseph had a dream, and he talked about the stars of heaven. Let's go to Genesis, the 37th chapter. And let's read about his dream. Let's read about it. Verse 2. Then it says, these are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Belial and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. These were, Jacob had 4 wives, and these were the handmaids that they gave to Jacob, and they brought forth children. That's how we became the 12 tribes of Israel, between Jacob having 4 wives and Joseph going to Egypt and having a wife, bringing forth Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob had the rest of the tribes to his 4 wives. So all you that don't believe in that, then we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jacob having multiple wives. It says, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now, Israel loved Joseph. You know, Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and we became the Israelites. Now, Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that his father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him. See that? Jealousy within the father, within the family, hating him. They hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. So they was really speaking raunchy to him, really nasty, talking about him and just, making him feel bad. And Joseph dreamed a dream, check this out, and he told it his brethren. And they hated him yet the more. He had a dream, he told his brother, and then they hated him more for telling the dream to them. And they hated him because Jacob loved him more than he loved all the rest of them, because he had him in his old age. So he went and told his brother the dream, and they hated him more. And he said it to them. Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, think about it. They already raunchy and really talking about him, just making him feel bad. And he's still like humble enough to go to him and tell him the dream. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. He said, you know, they all standing up, and theirs bowed down, and Joseph stood up straight, and all the rest of them bowed down to his sheep. And his brethren said unto him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. They hated him for his dreams and his words. And it did happen. When he went to Egypt, they sold him to the Arabs. His wicked brothers we reading about here, they hated him. They sold him to the Arabs, and the Arabs sold him to the Egyptians. And when they came to Egypt, when there was a famine, they had to bow down to him, just like his dream says. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars, and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. Remember it said, Esau is over the stars of the Most High. He talking about no stars in the sky. Behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars made obeisance to me. Listen, and he told it to his father. He told Israel this, our forefather Israel, and to his brethren, 11 brothers, he said, and his father rebuked him. Father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother, so Israel would represent the sun, and his mother would represent the moon. Shall I and thy brother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? So the sun and the moon represent Israel and his wife, and the 11 stars made obeisance to them. The 11 stars are his brethren, who became the forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel, along with him. And his brother envied him, but his father observed the same. He said, what are you saying? We're going to bow down to you. And they did. When they went to Egypt, they had to end up bowing down to Joseph, because he was right under the Pharaoh. In charge and ruled. Matter of fact, when they came there,